Hey there. This is a class to help you get in touch with the energy of death while you're alive, and so you can mourn and remember and learn from the people who've gone before us. So we're going to start on the ground in a little seed pose called Apanasana. So you'll lay down on your back. You'll hug your knees into your chest. And you can keep your head down, or you could lift it up. You could even plug your eye sockets into your kneecaps. We take the energy of manifestation from death to life and bring in some of the energies of those who have come before us. Start to deepen your breath. Allow yourself to feel like a little seed, just planted on the earth. See if you can use your seed memory to remember all those other plants that had to come before you to make you, you. And then honor the land that they live on, that they come from. Find one more big breath and remember that we come from the earth as well. And then slowly crack your seed open, straighten your left leg, hug your right knee into your chest, and then go into a simple twist. Right knee over to the left. Reach your right arm out to the right, and then breathe from your hips to your ribs to your skull. And then let yourself sink into the dirt, you little seedling. Take 2 more breaths here and feel the fertile soil of all of the things that are decomposing around you. For soil is a mixture of life and death. One more big breath, just being held by our collective mother, by the earth. And then let the moment on this side of your body die. Come back towards center. And then crack open in a new way. Right leg straightens, left knee hugs in, and then goes across your body towards the right. Left arm reaches out to the left. And then just sink into the earth. Feel yourself covered with warmth and moisture and all the conditions to grow that are provided from the things that have died around you. Find 2 more big breaths. And remember what comes from the lives of those who have come before us. The ground we stand on, the foundations, the institutions, some better than others. But honor them nonetheless for giving us a place to be, to live. And then come back to center. Hug both of your knees in towards your chest. Sometimes we have to retract before we grow big. And then you can roll over to one side and sit up, or just sit up by rocking a couple of times. Cross your legs, grab your knees, lift your heart, and feel yourself growing. And then as you exhale, round your back, feel yourself mourning. And then keep the dance alive between birth, life, and then death, and space for new life. Find 2 more and honor the life force that you get to inhabit right here, right now, by going deeply into these shapes and really allowing yourself to be in touch with your energy, the energy of your physical body and anatomy, the energy of your mental processes and where your mind goes as we rock, and of course, your spirit, that part of you that seems unchanging, that may go to that next place. Sweep your arms up high towards the sky. Hands in prayer. And then bring your elbows together to touch, and then hug them tightly, 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 and bring them as low as possible. Feel a squeeze around the area of your pecs and heart. Take a big breath into that heart. And then exhale, squeeze, squeeze, squeeze as hard as you can, feeling like you could almost hug the people that you miss on the other side. Give it 2 more big breaths and really put your emotions into your body. One more big breath. Maybe you use your exhale to kind of ground down into physical power a little bit more. And then inhale, open your forearms, look up, lean back. Take your hands to the ground. Fingers can point to the sides or to the back. Feet to the earth. Lift your hips, lift your heart. Offer yourself up because you know you're going where they're going. Hang out here for a breath or two more. Maybe your hips go higher. Your hands and your feet pull towards one another. Your breath fills up not just the front of your body, but the back and sides as well. On your last exhale here, just stick out your tongue, open your eyes wide, make some noise, make a face. And then slowly lower down. And remember, you only have a little bit of time on this earth to get weird, so you might as well. Cross your legs, come over to hands and knees. And then once you're there, you're going to flip your hands, face them back towards your knees. Round your back like a cat pose, tuck your tail, lift your navel in, and then just start to swirl to the left around the circumference of your hands. Feel into the extensions of the heart, the arms, and let your breath be really loving, really tender. And then circle the other way. Feel like every single move you make is a bit of reverence towards the dead for the sacrifices they gave you to live how you live. One more big breath here. Nice. And then from here, you're going to flip your hands back the normal way. And then walk your hands out like you were doing downward dog, but keep your hips right over your knees. And then sink your heart, pull your shoulder heads away from one another so you have a lot of space to sink. On an exhale, I want you to look at the space in between your thighs, like towards your reproductive organs, and round your back a ton, and kind of like lurch your belly up and in really tight. And then do it again. Sink as you inhale. And as you exhale, think non-violent vomit. Just lift your guts up and in, almost like you're trying to purge any grief that is lingering longer than it needs to be within you. Sink your heart, inhale. Exhale, lurch. Expend the energy that you don't want to feel anymore. Or just feel into it a little bit more as you move. And then inhale, sink into gratitude. Exhale, squeeze out grief. Feel it as you squeeze. And then let the gratitude intermingle with the grief as you inhale. 2 more rounds of that, pulling energy out, feeling, and then combining the energy of gratitude with it. One more time. Nice, and then pause with your heart down and see if you can mentally think the words, thank you. And then feel what that feels like instead of just thinking about the thank you. And then slowly tuck your tail, bend your elbows, walk your hands back. Ooh, yeah. And then if it's comfortable for you, sit on your heels. And if not, just come to a kneeling position. Sweep your arms up in prayer again. Exhale, pin your elbows together, squeeze your chest as you bring the elbows down. This time, let your hands open forward, keep your elbows touching. This is the Pushpa Putta Mudra, fistful of flowers, energy of giving. Hang out here for 2 more big breaths. And then think about not only what you've been gifted by your dearly departed, but what you can give that follows their example. Slowly pull your elbows towards you. Let them separate. And then let your hands swipe by your sides. And then you're going to reach your arms out to the sides and let your chest round forward in space. You could tuck your tail a little too. And then reverse that. Bend the elbows and then swipe your sides. And then open your hands. Look up and lean back. And then we'll reverse that. Bend the elbows. Hands by your sides. Tuck the tail around the back as you reach the hands forward. One more time. Kind of like before as you inhale. Enjoy gratitude. As you exhale, feel your grief. Squeeze it. Be with it. Move the energy through you. Energy in motion, emotion. Okay, this time you're going to reach your arms out, look up, lean back, and then take your hands up into prayer. As you exhale, squeeze them together tight. Bend your elbows as you inhale. Take the thumbs to the nape of your neck. Make a little pillow for the top back sides of your skull with your forearms. And then without letting your ribs flare out like this, can you think about lifting your chest plate straight up towards the sky? And then push your skull into your forearms and take 3 big breaths from your pelvic floor to your chest plate. And then show your heart to what's beyond, to the skies, to the mystery, to the space of the unknown. Show your heart. Send your love to the other side. And then slowly stack your spine back up. Release your hands. Interlace them behind your back. And then if you're on your knees, you can just start to fold and push your fists forward and maybe think child's pose with your head down. If you are already down, you can roll forward to the crown of your head, find that healthy lurch, the non-violent vomit, and then hang out here in rabbit pose for 3 big breaths. Play the poles of heaven and earth. Lift your fists up to heaven. Ground your skull into the earth. Breathe into all the space in between. And then feel the connection that lives between this life and the afterlife. One more big breath. And if you're in rabbit pose, you can release your hands, press back, or just press your hips back. If you're in child's pose, go ahead and sit up on your heels. And then we'll all come forward to our hands and knees. And then find downward facing dog. Find 3 breaths there. And see if you can just maintain the middle, the space between heaven and earth, the space between the thoughts. Let your breath be supple and full, front, back, sides fill. And then slowly, almost ceremoniously, take really articulate steps through your feet, one at a time, up to the top of the mat, pressing through the toes and the heels and savoring the details of this precious temporary body that you got from the universe, from your parents. And then once you've made your way to the top, doesn't matter how pretty it was, just that you're awake. Bend your knees, squeeze your thighs together, lift your heart halfway, show your heart to the space in front of you. And then fold back down. Same feelings, hamstrings on, adductors on, sweep your arms to the sky, big inhale. And then take your hands in prayer at your heart. Step your feet about as wide as the mat, turn the toes out. And then you can use your hands or not, but you'll bend your knees and sink into a yoga squat. Elbows to inner knees. Find this space of deep feeling in your pelvis. And imagine there was a ball in the middle of your pelvic bowl. And every time you inflated it, it inflated so big that it pushed your pelvis out in all directions. Find that with your breath. If a little gas comes out, good, you're alive. I always say that the gas makes me know that it's working. One more big breath. Something to be said about the fertilizer of excrement too, but we don't have time. Take your hands down. Lean forward. Start to straighten your legs. Lift your hips. And then turn your toes back in. Keep your hands on the ground. Bend your left knee. Sweep your right foot to the back right corner of the mat. And then you could drop your right knee or keep it up off the ground. And then just make 3 slow, beautiful, breathful circles in your right hip. Keep the right thigh high. Bend deeply into the left knee. Get articulate through how you're touching the ground through both feet. And then circle 3 times in the other direction. And then keep your life-giving breath alive. More than welcome to use blocks. I just didn't, my bad. Okay, and then from here, just look forward, drop your hips. Ay, ay, ay. And then as you exhale, you're going to switch the bend of your legs. So bend your right knee, straighten your left, pull your hips back, back, back. Have one more big breath here. And then bend into your left knee, look forward again, dropping the hips. As you exhale, push into your hands, lurch your belly in and step your right foot forward. Sink into a squat, one big breath in. One big breath out. Expand the entire pelvis as you stand up with your breath. And then sink right back down into your squat. Take your hands to the earth. Step your left leg to the back left corner of the mat. You can readjust your hands so they're right under your shoulders. And then sink into your squat or your lizard and then swirl 3 times. And then feel into that anatomical space of creation and destruction, of life and death. The reproductive organs can produce life as they work. And you process death through your body every time you digest. Circle the other way. Death is literally what sustains us. The death of plants and animals that we eat. We are inextricably linked to death. Okay, after you finished all 6, drop the hips, look forward. And then start to bend through the left knee as you straighten the right knee and pull your butt back, back, back. Even try and drag your right heel back. One more big breath. And then bend back into your right knee as you exhale. Look up, inhale. Lurch your belly in, push weight into your hands and right foot. Left foot comes forward, sink into a squat. And then right away, stand up. Parallel your feet, bring your hands onto your hips, and then right away, take some smooth circles through the hips, just standing. And then feel into that cradle of life and death that we all hold in our pelvis, pelvi. Circle the other way. Breath is king, breath is queen, breath is president, prime minister, breath is you being. Okay, after about 6, you'll settle. And then just find a mountain pose. Start to slow down your breath significantly. Get heavy, heavy, heavy through your feet. Super light through your heart. See if you can get really full through your mid-back and lower back and side waist with your breath. And then just hang out in gratitude for this beautiful yin and yang of life and death that we are constantly dancing between. Find deep gratitude for the ones you've lost, for the ones that have left an energetic impression in you that you're carrying forth. And for your last breath, extend compassion to all people, because undoubtedly we will all lose the ones we love. And if that doesn't connect all of us, I don't know what does. And bring your awareness only to your hands. Feel the electricity that might be moving through them. Feel that as the power of your free will, your ability to live well. Take your left hand onto your left pec, right over your heart. Take your right hand onto your forehead and feel that free will merging the energies of the head and the heart so that you can live in alignment with yourself, in coherence, in truth, in beauty, love, joy. Take one more big breath. Remember the beauty and the pleasure in life. And as you exhale, try and release, at least temporarily, the pain. Release your hands by your side. Take one more breath in stillness. And slowly blink your eyes open. Come back into the room and know that your life is precious and valuable. And I'm really grateful that you chose to spend some of your life force energy and time, precious little time with me. Thank you.